Just as we left the mosque, hundreds flooded the streets for another funeral. This one for 4 men belonging to Palestinian militant factions killed in an Israeli airstrike while standing on a street corner. They've just laid another body on top of that hilltop there behind me. It is the 6th body in this one neighborhood alone today. It gives you a sense of the scale of loss that the people of Gaza are now suffering. Every Palestinian death here is a source of renewed determination to live, this preacher tells the mourners. Don't abandon the fight. Don't abandon the resistance, he says. And while they mourn, the war rages on. Smoke from yet another Israeli airstrike billows on the horizon. At the site, we find more anger. Word spreads. It's an Israeli assassination of a senior Hamas member. Stoic looks on the faces of the elders. But it's too much for the young ones to handle. Another day in Gaza, another day of bombardments, another day of deaths. Ayman Mohyeddin, NBC News, Gaza.
3:17 a.m., 11 hours 17 minutes late, and she casts off. Our vessel, just one of several leaving Tripoli every day, taking out over 1,000 Syrians, 5 times more than a year ago.
But for these people from Syria, this is the legitimate leg of the journey. This is the bit they know about, this is the bit which they can calculate about. After that, who knows?
All they need's a valid passport, transit visa through Lebanon, $250 for the boat fare, and they're at the gates of the EU. Mostly male, educated, and relatively solvent students, engineers, teachers. They want jobs and a new life. And many are from areas relatively unscathed by the Syrian war. Even so, few will talk openly, fearing reprisals upon their families.
Hamad Murshidi paid to get across by boat from Turkey to Greece. He gave us the tour.
In this building.
This first building?
Yeah, for food.
That's for food, that's
Yeah,
the canteen,
in the
yeah?
last, yes.
The women and children live in here, do they? Oh, I see, over here.
No, here.
Oh, I see, the
Like,
women and children
yes.
sleep over there.
Yes.
I see. He was 9 months into a law apprenticeship when the bottom fell out of his country. At first, he said, you adapt to war in Syria. When you can't even do that, you pay to get on a smuggler's boat.
Before this problem, it's a good life for me and my family. But now, you don't, not peace, not you stay in house, maybe dead. You go after the door, maybe dead.
First this morning, we're going to hear the extraordinary story of twin brothers who were separated at birth at the end of World War II and have just been reunited nearly 70 years later.
Welcome, welcome.
Dobra. Wszystko dobrze. No. Dobrze. Trzymaj się, dobrze. Trzymaj. Dla ciebie. Dla ciebie.
Like I said before, I always have the feeling I want to come to America. And now I found out why.
And this was the response your mother got when she was trying to find you?
Yes.
So she was looking for you. She did want to know where you were.
She was looking for me, and she really want to hope I return back to Germany.
Syriza's gambit is risky. It has a stack of left-wing measures it could put through the Greek parliament even if it obeyed the IMF. So I asked one of its most senior MPs, why not just do as the lenders say?
It would be a direct coup. It would be a violation of democratic procedures and democratic standards.
You call it a coup. With the history of this building, that is a strong word.
The fighting is getting closer and closer to us. These are our Ukrainian tanks pulling back from the checkpoint, and all the time artillery is landing in the distance.
2 weeks after Westgate, US Navy SEAL Team 6, these are the same guys that took out Osama bin Laden, carried out an ambitious raid on a small town on the Somali coast. Their target was a senior al-Shabaab operator who goes by the name of Ikrima.
Neither yet ready to give an inch. There could be some pretty hard stares exchanged when that door closes. Both have a pretty entrenched position. Both think they have a mandate backing them up. So could these two very different leaders find some common ground? Are you going to do a deal?
From the shores of Lake Como in Italy, this is the Marketplace Europe debate. I'm Richard Quest. A perfect place to enjoy the last rays of the summer season. For nearly 40 years, the Villa d'Este has been the venue for the Ambrosetti Forum. Heads of state, ministers and business leaders gather here each year to discuss the current challenges facing the world's economies.
We caught up with the pair at the European premiere of their movie.
Did you guys meet any real-life older interns for your research and stuff?
You're saying there are older?
Yeah, there is. They're called returnships.
Oh, you mean here in England?
Yeah.
Or, no, that's interesting. Yeah, great. That's terrific. Yeah, great.
The scheme was set up 5 years ago. Its aim was to give opportunities to women who've been away from the workplace.
We knew that Red Readers are passionate about their careers, but
to work on it for years. So, it doesn't. It's not just
somewhere. Great.
Yeah,
I know. I really love to do that because that was the sort of original.
Because you can kind of underestimate those skills, and so that was
our business activity is enabling companies to design programs that will support the transition back to work for people who've had
You didn't even know what, if you was going to see the next day or what you was going to find when you went out the next day, whose houses had been bombed and who had died, and it was a terrible time.
The day Lebedev brings Irina the news. Irina's grateful, but she tells him she's also skeptical. Because President Lukashenko's Belarus can be a dark, secretive place where what is said in public doesn't necessarily correspond to reality.
So how do you feel this weekend?
Well, this has been a lovely series of events commemorating the 70th anniversary.
Talking about politics as
I know,
well.
well, it's not really a day for politics. It's a day for thinking about what people did 70 years ago. I'm confident we're going to get the right result. Nice to see you. Very important relationship. Cheers, mate.
Well done. Well done.
Good morning, sir. Are you worried about these letters? Are you still writing to ministers letters like that? Yes. Have you not been behaving unconstitutionally? Have you? Like that? Yes. Have you not been behaving unconstitutionally by writing letters like that?